guys. I know you've been waiting for this for a while. So, I got the S45 back out from Bintac LLC. And you can see it's a little bit different. I added this 1100cc bottle on the back. I don't know who the hell this is. All Safe Technologies. Anyways, this it's on Amazon. It's like 150 bucks on Amazon. And then the 700cc tuxing bottle on the front. So 1800 cc's of air. Is it needed? No. You can function fine with just the one original tank on the front. But, you know, part of air guns is the more you add, the more you play. So that's what I've done. Of course, it is extra long, so I had to put this extended scope rail on there just so, you know, I mean, if you don't have orangutan arms, it's going to be a little tight. And then my good friend at Ian White at bigairgun.com, I believe. I'll have his proper information in there.
Oh yes, left side. Now the right side. Oh yeah.
He made this beautiful shoulder piece that fits on this big oversized bottle. So now it can pocket just fine, even though it is long. So if, you know, you're not part of orangutan, it may not be something you want to deal with. And then, of course, I've got the hush can on here from Chad Simon at Lethal Air. If you want to put your Donnie FL on here, you got to use an adapter and you got to have the shorter tank because it'll hit against this bottle. So that's just the downsides of the spacing that we have to work with. But the main thing I wanted to show you today is I've got the aluminum covers on the magazines in from Rich Jensen in Wisconsin. And that's what we're going to play with. Okay? Let me show you these things. Don't go anywhere. So, this is what we got. All right? I mean, it's not showing you much, but it's the aluminum cover that's been replaced on here. Now, I personally don't like dealing with magazines, so I sent mine to Rich and had him, you know, change them out and deal with, you know, putting it all back together. These are the factory springs. They're not the upgraded springs, the factory springs. I'm only filling the mag to 4 shots so I don't wear the springs out. I think it's part of the problems that people had is in the early days, they were cranking this thing so tight that the earlier springs just couldn't handle it. I've always done less just for safety reasons, and that's what we're doing. So the only headache I've noticed is, of course, as you're doing this, since you can't see through it, you know, you got to look on this side to see, you know, where you're putting your bullet in. And, you know, it's like count your holes as you're going, you know, am I shot number 5 or shot number 4? So we'll be experimenting with that. And then, you know, we're getting these a bit worn in because they're really tight right now. So the more you do it, the smoother it's going to get. So we may have a jam up or two, but I'll keep you posted on how things work out. So I got 5 mags, 4 shots each, 20 bullets. Let's go run these through and see how they cycle. My 5 mags, 4 shots each. Let's see. Okay, let it fly. All right, guys. Inevitably, a semi-auto is going to jam on you while you're in the field. So I've shown this before, but I'm going to do it again in this just to show you, because it did jam on me once. What you're going to wind up doing is you got to pull, this probe has to come all the way back. And then this is my device. It's just a piece of ballpoint pen with tape on it, so I've got a tab. And you push it in, and it locks in, because that's that little sliding piece moves. And now it's locked in the open position. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to get your plastic ramrod, push it down the barrel, and you're going to start tapping that bullet. Tap it, tap it, tap it. Until you're wiggling this magazine, you know, until you get it pushed backwards, either into the mag, or it's going to go further back into this little hollow area that's right in here where the bullet probe is. Okay, but either way, you've got it back enough that you can wiggle and get your mag out. All right, now before you close this, you want to make sure that this is clear. Stick your ramrod back down the barrel, and see, you can see it. There's no obstruction, nothing's in there. Now the bullet in this particular instance is going to be right inside here, so you just shake it and tip it, the slug will come out. That is how I deal with a jam. And then just pull this back, bingo, you're ready to go. Load it back up, stick it back in, and get back to shooting. But all semi-autos jam at one time or another. I've never had something serious, as serious, where I had to take the barrel off and everything else. So just, I always try to let people know it's not necessary to send the rifle back in if you get a jam, because most of the time it's pretty simple to undo. Now that is it on clearing your jam, at least the way I've done it. We did what we had to do. I had one jam up, and that was on the 4th mag, last bullet. And I have a feeling it's because the mag cover was just a little too tight. It wasn't spinning as smoothly as possible. Or I put the bullet in on, you know, one spot off as I was loading it. Not 100% sure, but, you know, all the others cycled fine. I had no problems. I was shooting the 170 grain, which is what I designed for this gun to begin with. Anyways, I'm shooting the 170s with the factory spring. Some people have reported that they'll get a jam because the weight with the factory spring is too light and it's not cycling fast enough, and it can possibly cause a jam up also. Bottom line, if you're getting anything in the face or things are jamming, you know, bullets are being shaved, that means there's a sharp edge in there, because bullets should never get shaved. Again, you know, it's just physics. So, but I'll put Rich's information in here on this. These cycle pretty good. I'm happy with them. With this being aluminum, as the air blows back, you're never going to get it in the face, because this is going to prevent anything from whacking you in the melon. So, oh, Mrs. Hollow Point just said lunch is time for lunch, so I've got to go. Gentlemen, thanks for watching, and I will come back at you with something else.